What's good? What's good? It's your boy Robert Ruler. This is Game Clock News, and I just want to give my thoughts on Game 4 with the Mavericks and Golden State Warriors. Mavericks won out winning by 10 in a 119-109 victory at home, and avoid getting swept by the Golden State Warriors at home in Dallas. So there will be a Game 5 in the Chase Center. And I feel like the Golden State Warriors was playing for that. I don't feel like they came out with the sense of urgency to go out there and win. I feel like they were just mailing it in just to get back to Golden State to win at home. And that concerns me if I was a Warriors fan. Like if I was a Warriors fan, that would concern me. It would concern me that these cats went out there, found a way to win in game 1, 2, and 3, whether it was blowout or a close victory, they found a way to win. Then in game 4, you're supposed to go for the kill. You're supposed to get them out the way. You're supposed to be worried about getting rest for the finals and scouting and doing your research on the Heat and the Celtics and watching them battle each other out and kill each other off, because they tied 2-2 going to a game 5. So why aren't you coming out there with a sense of urgency? Why aren't you coming out there desperate? Why aren't you coming out there ready to win? Why aren't you coming out there ready to annihilate that team? I don't understand it. You know, they came out there just lackluster and looked like the only player that wanted to play out there was Stephen Curry. I mean, he made some shots, but even he wasn't the Stephen Curry he was supposed to be. It seemed like, they saw they was getting their butts whipped. Curry, took the starters out, put the bench in. They cut it down to 8 points. And then once they cut it down to 8, it was just like they just let everything go. It was like they came all the way back from 25 down, cut it down to 8. And then they was like, you know what, we didn't want to win anyway. We'll just mail it in and take it back to Chase Center. Take it back to San Francisco. And I'm just saying to myself, that's not how a championship team supposed to conduct itself. And if I was Steve Kerr, I'll really get on those guys. Because, if this was the Showtime Lakers in the 80s, if this was the Bulls with Michael Jordan in that era, if this was the Bad Boy Pistons, if this were, those great teams from back in the day, they ain't playing with their food. They're not playing around with you. They sweeping you. They getting you out the way so they can get as much rest as possible. And then you never know. Injuries could happen at any given moment, so you don't play with no team that's in front of you. You don't play with no team that's in front of you. And you gotta always be out there ready to battle. And for them to come out there all blase, like the whole team smoked the whole pack of blunts, I'm just like, yo, that's not how you play. You heard me? That's not how you play. You gotta go out there with fire in your eyes and take that team out. Because Dallas still a threat of a team. They just, even though Jason Kidd has had a great year with this team, I could tell he has their ear better than Rick Carlisle did. But he's a younger coach, and he played in the NBA in a more of a modern time than Rick Carlisle. He still has to fix certain adjustments and certain rotations. And the Dallas Mavericks, to me, are still missing a big man presence that's more mobile than Boban, since they don't want to play Boban. And they need one more wing guy that can get you buckets off the dribble and off the cuts, that's real fluid on his feet. Another wing guy that's athletic and that can get buckets. I think if the Dallas Mavericks do that and keep the core pieces around them, such as Luka Doncic, Brunson, and Finney Smith, and players that's doing things the right way around Luka Doncic, I feel like they'll be all right in the future. However, I just feel like they're a young team. They're a little too young, just like the Memphis Grizzlies was too young. And I just feel like the savvy and the veteran sauce of the Golden State Warriors is outruling the youth of the Dallas Mavericks. And even though the Dallas Mavericks got a good youthful team, they'll run it, they run the score, they run up the scoreboard on you and stuff. For the most part, I just don't see enough toughness inside. I don't see enough toughness inside for them on the rebounder scale. And they shoot too many threes. They shoot too many bad shots to get themselves back in the game. And I've noticed that nobody on the team could rebound with Looney. Looney of the center of the Golden State Warriors has been killing them on the boards. And Draymond Green also has been like out hustling the Mavericks players. But this game right here, it's like everything they've been doing right. They just said, man, like, screw it. We just going to pack it in and go back to, go back home to Golden State, San Francisco, go back to San Fran and get it done like that. So I guess that's how they want to roll with it. But this is a bad habit they have of playing with their food, because they did it with Denver, they did it with Memphis, and now they're doing it with the Dallas Mavericks, playing around. And when they get to the finals, because I have a strong feeling they go get to the finals, because no team come back from 3-0. When they get to the finals, if they ever get some type of advantage, they better seal the deal, because the Celtics or the Miami Heat got a chance to just fly their throat and take them out if they play around. Let them be up 2-1 or 2-0 on the Miami Heat or the Celtics, and they blow one of those games. The Heat or the Celtics go tie it up and make that thing 2-2, and have them on the edge, and have them like, okay, now they gotta worry about something. So, and also more on the Stephen Curry note, to put more into like a Stephen Curry note, this is crucial for Stephen Curry. This should mean a lot for Stephen Curry. A lot is on the line for Stephen Curry. His legacy is on the line this year in this 2022 playoffs. Because at the end of the day, Stephen Curry is like 32 years old, approaching to be 33. I believe he's 33 already, turning 34 next year. And this would mean a lot for his legacy if he can get a championship without Kevin Durant, and without having a team being called the super team to win another championship. This could mean a lot for Stephen Curry's career. If he can get 4 championships out of his career, and out of the 4 championships, 2 of them could be without Durant. One with Harrison Barnes as a small forward, another one with Andrew Wiggins. And to me, I feel like they're kind of similar. Andrew Wiggins is more athletic than Harrison Barnes. Harrison Barnes is kind of like, I think he's a little bit more efficient of a perimeter shooter. Most of the times I've seen Harrison Barnes, he's more efficient of a shooter, or like a guy that can hit the three from the corner. But Andrew Wiggins has more of a package, and he's more athletic. But they both have that role player mentality of like, they're not here to, shuffle the card up and ask for more shots and more of this and more of that. They just cool with where they at. Even though that can be, on the flip side, that could be a bad thing, because if anything happens to Curry injury-wise, or he getting foul trouble, or Klay not feeling it, you know what I'm saying? Because I don't expect Klay to be like the old Klay based on the injuries he's had. And this is his first year coming back, and he's doing phenomenal coming back. But you see that Klay Thompson is not consistent like he used to be. So if Klay Thompson not consistent as he used to be, and if Jordan Poole having an off night and Curry having an off night, or in foul trouble, or if anything happens bad, or injuries for anybody, you could look at Andrew Wiggins like, okay, you got to be like the next guy to step up. And he didn't do anything good enough tonight. So in game 4, he didn't do enough. So they just got to for the next game, they just got to get the ball to Looney more down low, get him a couple touches. Draymond Looney work the boards. Stephen Curry do what he do. Poole do what he do. Klay Thompson, he get in his spots and get the ball when they need to get it to him. And they just run the system and keep moving the ball. And I feel like if they get an early lead on the Dallas Mavericks, that's going to be it for Game 5. Because obviously they didn't want to play for Game 4. But if you Stephen Curry, this should mean a lot to you. This should be like your last dance. And I feel like if Stephen Curry was able to get a championship this year, I feel like this is going to really cement him in the all-time guards, point guards, or just shooters, period. Because to me, he's more of a shooting guard, but he has great handle. He has better handle than his dad and his brother. His dad, Dale, and his brother, Seth. He has the best handles. So because he has one of the best handles in the league, he can play the point guard position very well. But if Stephen Curry was like Klay Thompson height, 6'6" or something like that, or even 6'5", 6'6", 6'7", he'll be a Reggie Miller. He'll be like a Reggie Miller, running around screens, running around, catch and shoot, dribble a couple times, shoot, get separation, shoot the jumper. However, he just has better range than Reggie. He shoots from a longer range. And he's a quicker player. He's a smaller player, so he can play the 1 or the 2. He's a Jerry West-esque type of player, but more modern. And I think that's why he re-revolutionized the game and made it more about shooting from the perimeter. Because we've seen players like him before in Mahmoud Abdul-Rauf, formerly known as Chris Jackson, Jerry West, cats like Downtown Freddie Brown, so he's played for the Sonics back in the day. His father, Wardell Curry, who played for the Hornets. So we seen great shooters who can shoot and light it up. Dennis Scott, who played for the Magic. We seen great shooters, but to have that package of a point guard, a real point guard package to get away from defenders, take it to the rack, and you could run around and catch and shoot off screens and playing off the ball. He has that elite talent to do both. So he's really hard to stay with Stephen Curry. And that's been his advantage most of his career is knowing how to use those screens without the ball, and then with the ball, knowing how to get around people. But this should be very important for Stephen Curry. If I was Stephen Curry, I would take this lightly if I was in the shoes. If I was in this scenario, I would take this lightly because you're not getting no younger, and the league is. The rest of the league is getting younger. The West is going to get stronger. It's not going to get no weaker. The West is going to get stronger. And the East is getting back to respectability of at least being formidable to watch and giving a good fight in the playoffs. And it's not one team that's going to come out the East just to lose or win, and it's one team coming out the East, one team dominating the East, or the first 3 teams is good and the rest is they're all right. No, at least the East has some at least 1 through 5 or 1 through 6 teams that was formidable opponents, or was a threat to win it, or with a bright future. If they're not a threat to win it this year, with a bright future. So Golden State Warriors, they got to come harder than that. Dallas Mavericks played a great game in Game 4. And this is a legacy moment for Stephen Curry right here. This is a legacy moment, this playoffs. If he can get over the hump, beat Dallas Game 4, and manage some type of way to beat the Celtics or the Heat, whoever come out the East, this is going to submit him all time. This is going to put him over some players too. To have 4 championships, 4, within the past, 7 years, 6 years? It's going to be a real good accomplishment if he could pull this off. And if not, if they just get to the finals and lose, it's going to be like a sour taste and not a bittersweet, but sweet bitter. Sweet that they got to the finals, but bitter that they lost in the finals if they lose in the finals to the Celtics or the Heat. And that might be possible because Celtics and Heat have great defenses. They're two great defensive teams. So, let's just see how it's going to go. But if I was Stephen Curry, I wouldn't, if I was the Warriors and Stephen Curry, I wouldn't play around with none of these teams. I wouldn't play around at all because this should be very important for the legacy of the team to get a championship for Clay, Curry, and Draymond, and Iggy, for, one more ring for the crew or the dub, and then you should turn it over to Jordan Poole. Sign Jordan Poole to like a long extension contract, however you could do it, to keep him in and build around Jordan Poole to be the future. I believe the future is bright for the Golden State Warriors. They just got to do it right. Like, share, subscribe, comment below how y'all feel about it. It's Game Clock News. Holla.